Hi everyone. Okay, here is Gaddafi, and in this speech he's talking about Obama and calling him a brother, a Kenyan brother who is an American national. And then he talks about how Americans and white Americans and blacks are equals. And this speech is really great. You'd be surprised if you haven't watched it already. It's really good. But I want you to um, listen to the part where he talks about how America belongs to the Indians and everyone else is an immigrant. And then, I thought about that speech when Obama was giving his, here it is, one of these. President Obama addresses global strategy on countering violent extremism. And his tone of voice is so, what can I say? How can I describe that tone of voice? Very parental, it's kind of hard to listen to. It's like, well, they should do this then, or we should do this then. So, kind of like that kind of tone. And he's talking about, I'll play it in a minute to see if I'm right. He's talking about how the Muslims who are fighting and committing these crimes and everything are oppressed, and we have to listen to them. So in the Native Americans, I mean, they tried to get some rights, but they didn't succeed, and if they did even try a little bit, they're thrown in jail for the rest of their lives, like Leonard Peltier, or Peltier. I don't know if you know him. Anyway, listen to this Obama speech for just a second. Okay, let's go. I don't even know where it is, so I'll just start somewhere here and see what comes up.
Likely to be killed. Obviously, there is a complicated history between the Middle East, the West, and none of us, I think, should be immune from criticism in terms of specific policies, but the notion that the West is at war with Islam is an ugly lie. And all of us, regardless of our faith, have a responsibility to reject it. At the same time, former extremists have the opportunity to speak out, speak the truth about terrorist groups. And oftentimes they can be powerful messengers in debunking these terrorist ideologies. One said, this wasn't what we came for, to kill other Muslims. Those voices have to be amplified. And governments have a role to play.
Well, they didn't go to, or they said they didn't come to kill other Muslims, but they did come to kill people. They just didn't expect to kill other Muslims. But then they do it. I don't know why they do that. That is pretty extreme. Anyway, so here is Gaddafi, and this is what he says. Oops.
أنه ليس له الحق أن يحكم أمريكا، هذه المصيبة الكبيرة، لأن هذا الشعور خطير جدا يجعله يتصرف أبيض أكثر من البيض، ويبالغ في اضطهاد السود واحتقاره. نحن نقول له يا أخي الأسود والأبيض في أمريكا متساويين، كلهم مهاجرين.
See, whites and blacks, they're all immigrants.
أمريكا ليست للبيض ولا السود، أمريكا الهنود الحمر سكانها مصريين.
America belongs to its original inhabitants, the Indians. Have you ever heard a world leader say such a thing? Come out and say such a thing? No, never. Only Gaddafi. You will hear, if you watch his speeches, listen to his speeches, you will hear amazing things that he doesn't mince words. He just tells it like it is.
جاء الابيض وجاء الاسود، اذا الابيض والاسود في امريكا متساويين، ومن حق اوباما ان يرفع راسه يقول انا شريك في امريكا، امريكا ارضي مثل ما ارضكم انتم، اذا كان ماليش ارضكم ماليش ارضي حتى ليست ارضكم، ارض الهنود الحمر.
It is the land of the Indians. You're immigrants, and so are we. So he's trying to say that he's worried that Obama wouldn't have confidence in running America because he's black, and he'd lack confidence, and he'd act whiter than white. So I forgot when this video is, but what I want to show you next is so you just saw this where Obama is making excuses for, and I don't know if you watched the whole thing, but he does. He makes excuses like, well, they had issues and they're rebelling, or they're, you know, trying to fight back against the wrongs that have been committed against them. But the American Indians don't. So this video here is so amazing. I'm so thankful for Alex Jones and InfoWars for letting Russell Means, who is an Sioux Indian, and letting him speak. It was an interview, but it wasn't an interview. They didn't interview him. He just talked for over 90 minutes. But he's talking about American apathy and how everyone in America is on the reservation now. And he talks about being on the reservation and they have no rights. They have no privacy. They have they have nothing. No constitutional rights. All the treaties were broken that, you know, they signed with the U.S. government. They were lied to, and they were pushed off their land into worse and worse places. And Russell Means' message right before he died was that Americans are now in the same place that the Indians have become. So here's Russell Means.
You know, the American people, for too long, have been an irresponsible, free people. And even generation to generation, as they become less free, they don't recognize it. They have lost the ability of critical thought. In order to regain critical thought, all you have to do is read your Constitution and then look at the laws that govern you, especially from the federal perspective. It's unconscionable to allow your freedoms to be taken away decade after decade after decade, year after year. And I'm very proud of this, by the way. My nation, the Lakota, were the first nation to militarily defeat the United States of America on the field of battle. And that resulted in the 1868 Sioux Treaty. Be that as it may, what has happened after they economically forced us into these prisoner of war camps by destroying our food supply and our rite of passage in our own land. They confined us to these, and then they began practicing and perfecting their colonial tactics. What has happened is now America, because of the irresponsibility of your forebears and the irresponsibility of yourselves, you are now on one huge Indian reservation. All policies were bred and born and birthed on an Indian reservation, and then exported to the world, and now comes back on the backs of the American people.
Isn't that amazing? So what they did to the American Indians on the reservation is now being repeated on all of the people in America, according to Russell Means. They're taking over the food supply and all of that. And what he's saying, people don't recognize their freedoms are taken away. It's like the frog in the pot syndrome. So I'll put that this is an hour and a half on the Alex Jones channel, so I'll put the link below so you can watch it because it's really worth it. Russell Means was a great man. Great. And here is another person that I don't know if you know or not. Leonard Peltier. So he's been in prison for 30 years, something like that. And very interesting. So I don't know what people can do because we see this happening, right? Being taken over. But that is really an interesting idea, that it's all started on a reservation and they're doing the same thing to all of America. They're controlling the food supply. Oh my goodness. Well, get ready, everyone. And God bless you all. Bye for now. Let's see what this is. Red Power Media. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.